Hello, I'm John Cantlie, and today we're on top of the world in Mosul, overlooking the second largest city in Iraq and under the complete control of the Islamic State for over 5 months.
I'm Anthony Loyd. I'm here in Mosul, Iraq's second largest city, in the footsteps of John Cantlie, the British hostage who was abducted by Islamic State in 2012 and who was last seen alive here 6 years ago. There are 3 questions over the past year which I've been trying to find answers to. How did John Cantlie survive so long as a hostage of Islamic State? Did he believe much of what he was saying in Islamic State videos? And what was the fate of John Cantlie?
Is he here, Ammar, or?
No, further on. In January 2015, John appeared in a new type of video.
No visit to a Muslim country would be complete without doing some shopping at a souk. And everywhere you look, everywhere you come here in this old souk, one of the oldest in Mosul, was struck by just how normal and crazy and busy everything is.
In the video, he had a new role. It was certainly not the hostage captive of the Lemuriya series. It was more ambiguous than his appearance in Kobani. Inside Mosul, he appears to present the city's life as Islamic State would describe it.
People have no money, they said. Rubbish lies uncollected on the streets, and there are only 2 hours of electricity every 4 days. Well, there are a lot of neon signs and flashing bright lights around here. They've been on a lot longer than 2 hours in the last 4 days.
In the video, I identified fairly easily some of the shopkeepers with whom John was talking.
صار لي 10 أشهر ضبط من قلبت المهنة مالي إلى قرطاسية، وذلك لأسباب. يعني الصابون يريد له موقع بناس كثيرة، موقع شارع النجفي ما حد رجع لحد الآن. نحن بداية الأمر ما كنا نفرق بين الداعش اللي هذا أجنبي أو هذا أسير أو هذا مفقود أو هذا كذا، فما نفرق بيناتهم، نعتبر الكل دواعش. فهو لما جانا الشخص قلنا يجوز يعني من نفس الدواعش أجنبي، لأن موجودين أجانب معاهم ونحن شفنا هذا الشيء بعيوننا يعني. فالرجل جاء وعاملني على صابون وكان يضحك فرحان والشاقة ومعانا، واخذ صابون من عندي ورجع على صديقي اللي موجود نشوان اخذ منه حلاوة، وكان يفتر بشارع النجف، يعني افتر مرتين بشارع، وكان يصور، كان عنده كاميرا يصور بها. فحتى المكان اللي يقف فيه يصوروه الجماعة يعني بشكل مرتاح، لأن حتى أي شخص يشوفه ما كان يفرق بينه إنه هو أسير أو داعشي. يعني كان بشارع النجف كان يشتري صابون أو يشتري حلاوة كان يضحك معانا، والشاقة يعني ما ويتكلم أجنبي. صح، هو صح كان يتكلم أجنبي، بس ما كنا نعرف، لا حتى ماكو مترجم، فكنا نحسب يعني من نفس الدواعش، ولا أعرف هو أسير. يعني من أصلا أنا ما أعرف هو أسير، فكيف نعرف هو أسير؟ لا يعرف لغته ولا يعرف جاي يتكلم معايا، ما نعرف هو أسير.
Just down here and on the left, yeah? This mosque, which was destroyed in an airstrike in 2017, it had a key role in John Cantlie's fate. The head of the media team that were looking after him for a while was based here with his team. So it's kind of no coincidence that John ended up being videoed in this area so much in 2015. There's an incredible little cell down here. Now, I'm not suggesting that John was held here or anything like that, but certainly the guys who were looking after John Cantlie for a time in this section of the city were based here, in the floors above us. Oh, I don't think so. So there's this sharp bit of bank, and then it goes away.
He even has this a little bit in the frame, you know, like this orange.
Try to rescue me again. Do something. Useless. Absolutely useless.
John was standing here and a drone went overhead. He was being filmed by Islamic State, and it's got to have been spontaneous rather than scripted. And he was referring to the June the 4th attempt to rescue him, James Foley, and the other British and American hostages in Syria, which had failed. A lot of people looked at that and were questioning, at what point does your anger and frustration with the British authorities and your sense of abandonment here overlap into empathy with Islamic State? I would say it didn't overlap, but it's an uncomfortable scene to watch anyway.
Okay, we're absolutely on the front line now of the fight here in Mosul. We're in the center of Mosul, a little way east, and behind me it looks like a scene out of a Steven Spielberg film, except this is for real. This was an Iraqi army base here in the center of Mosul, and now you can see behind me is complete destruction.
I'm standing on the doctor's accommodation block in the Al Salam hospital in eastern Mosul. It was here that John Cantlie was last seen alive in December 2016, where he presented his final Islamic State video called Tank Hunters in the aftermath of a huge battle in which a group of Iraqi soldiers and armoured vehicles were surrounded by Islamic State in this hospital and annihilated over the course of a two-day battle on the 6th and 7th of December.
أول ما دخل الجيش قلنا تقريبا ساعات الأولى ما كان يكون هناك معركة. بعدين صار معارك شديدة بالمراحل. سيارات تسمع فخخة وكان قصف طائران وكان هجوم عنيف من قبل الدواعش. صار قصف قلت لك بدأ مثل الهاونات يمكن مدفعية صار. بعدين صار ضرب من قبل الجيش. دخول الجيش ما كان مقاوم بالدواعش، ماكو أي مقاومة. بعدين الجيش افتروا على المناطق طلعونا. كان أنا مكاني واللي يمي هندسة وسواق إسعاف كله جمعونا بجو هذا الدرايج بالضبط. خلونا خذوا هوياتنا دققوهن، بعدين قالوا وين نروح؟ قلت والله ما أنا. بعدين حولونا على هالبناية. لبناية عالية مسيطرة ودونا على هالبناية.
Salam. Hello.
أول ما جابونا هنا.
Hey, how are you?
هاي المرافقات كان قلت لك خلي بطانية على المرافق ونقعد كل 4 5 مكان. خلونا هنا بالبداية. أول غرفة اشتعل. كله طاير كان من كله ماكو جامات. بعدين انسحبنا سدوا هذا المكان سحبنا على المكان الآخر. بالضبط طاولين كنا هنا 5 احنا. حتى الأشخاص حافظهم يعني موجودين. هذا المكان 5 أشخاص. كان هنا 3 هنا 2 يعني هذا كله وقع سقف.
Come with me, you've got to be careful of your step here. There's a lot of grenades and unexploded ordnance all around. This is the fight for Mosul. Look at this Humvee, just absolutely destroyed. Nothing else left of it, okay? Just burned out. This is one guy that didn't make it, another Iraqi soldier bites the dust. And this is exactly what's waiting for all the Iraqi soldiers in this area. The Mujahideen draw them in and their anti-tank hunting teams smash them in their vehicles like this one, this fellow next to me. And this is pretty much all that's waiting for the Iraqi army here in Mosul.
John never appeared in any other videos, and American intelligence officials who had overwatch of Western hostages who they're trying to find have assured me that all trace of John Cantlie was lost after the Al Salam hospital appearance. It's 10 years since John Cantlie was first abducted in Syria by the group that was to become Islamic State. But it's here in Mosul, in Iraq, where John was last seen alive, that 5 years after that battle was concluded for the liberation of Mosul, a tree, an olive tree, has been planted in the mosque, just 30 yards from the pulpit where Baghdadi launched the caliphate, in memory of John Cantlie.
تذكير يعني انه هو كان بهذا المكان، انه هو انفقد بالعراق، يعني تعتبر فد شيء رمز على روح يعني المفقود. ضمن مشروع الموصل الخضراء قدرنا نزرع كثير اشجار لعوائل للشهداء نفسهم اللي ضحوا بالموصل. قدرنا نزرع الاشخاص اللي انفقدوا داخل مدينه الموصل، وطلبوا من عائله المفقود جون كانتلي انه نزرع لهم شجره داخل مدينه الموصل. ذكرنا يعني بالمفقود انه كان هنا موجود مدينه الموصل، فقدرنا نزرع هاي الشجره يعني على روحه، تكون هاي الشجره داخل الجامع النوري. بخصوصية انه ذكرى من الجامع القديم، انه من صار التعمير انه ما غيروها، بقت هاي الحديقة، وهسه راح يصير كله تغيير جديد، وهذا يبقى يعني ما يقدرون يغيروه، لان في فد معنى يعني من الذاكرة.
عبر وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي نشر خبر انه سوف تزرع شجرة لشخص صحفي اجنبي، بوست على فيسبوك. اللي متابع الصفحة وقراها وطلعت المنشور قراها. قسم كالعادة مباشرة شتم وسب ويعني نظرية المظلومية وليش ما احنا. أنا بعيدا عن هاي النظرية، أنا مع تخليد كل الضحايا، لكن اكو قسم ذهبي ليش ما احنا شهدائنا كثار. الجهة اللي حبت انه يعني تخلد ذكراه ما اعطتنا الأجوبة. هل هم عندهم معلومات على يعني تفاصيل هذا الرجل؟ ليش جاء؟ وين جاء؟ بالضبط هل اكو معلومه دقيقه عن طريقه وفاته؟ بس من حقنا كمجتمع ان يكون عندنا معلومات عن الشخص، خاصه ان المدينه يعني مريضه، يعني مدينه عانت كثير يعني.
When I started asking about John Cantlie over a year ago, the conversations took me across 4 separate continents and travelled through North Africa and the Middle East, trying to answer a number of questions about it. There are a number of different circumstances: Islamic State themselves, the nature of the war, and people's misunderstanding of what it means when you're a hostage and what you'll do in order to survive, that have always rather clouded John's precise motivations and ultimately his fate. And I think that if I haven't actually worked out where John Cantlie precisely lost his life in this city, then I have worked out that this was a man who was definitely and desperately involved in a struggle to survive, rather than a man who in any way had turned his head towards ISIS ideology.